Well, hey, everybody. Happy Sunday night. Getting ready for the BOGP open line here on Mother's Day. So hang tight. We'll get started in just a few minutes. We're about 5 minutes away from the show. So grab a snack, a beverage, and we'll start at the top of the hour. Scott is going to join us a little bit into the show. He is finishing his Mother's Day dinner with Elizabeth and Emily, but we'll talk the news at the top of the show, take your calls, and have a good time. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Hey, I know what Wade's doing. I bet he's getting ready to have barbecue burgers that are well done. I bet he's watching ESPN and hearing ESPN trash the Cardinals, which they deserve everything that's coming to him right now because it's been a circus. You got to keep that stuff behind closed doors. Hello, Andrea, down in Florida. It's like Florida right here. If I could point my camera outside the studio window, the trees are bent at about 90 degrees. We have a severe thunderstorm warning, and the sky is partially black, and I can see the clearing across behind the other house. So, yeah, it's kind of wild right now. And the backside of the storm should get by in about 20 minutes. But as we say in the Midwest, as long as the hail misses us, we're good. And no tornado warning, so we're good there. Just thunderstorms. So we will watch for Scott to, he got his entrees. He said it was 40 minutes between apps and entrees. He's been sending me updates. Oh, we got a text. Let's see what he says. What's going on here? Oh, we got a picture. Yeah, let's see. Oh, wait. I guess is he at a Japanese restaurant? Or is it PF Chang's? No, he got his I guess he got a fortune cookie or something. His fortune. I guess if I read it, it comes true, maybe. Your ability to connect with others will always be your greatest strength. I think that's true of Scott for sure. That's one of his greatest strengths already. And he's on his way home, so he's going to join us in 10. So stand by. Oh, wait, maybe that wasn't his. Oh, wait, yeah, it was. I don't know. Who knows? We're just hanging out here. But yeah, we'll start the show at the top of the hour. Scott will join us in about 10 minutes. We'll have a good time here. We are also, just so you know now, we are broadcasting not only on Facebook and YouTube, but Twitter and Twitch. On Twitter, it's on my Twitter account at BRGuestMike. So you can follow over there. And on Twitch, you just got to search for the BR Guest Podcast. Let me see make sure we're going over there real quick before we start. Yep, we're over there on Twitch. And we are live on Twitter. Yes, and we upgraded to a new you know what? We spent a little extra money and we went and got a whole new platform set up. We went big or went home for you guys. And so now we're in HD. So there you go. Hopefully it does look a little bit better. It's easier to watch because it's in all kinds of different locations now. And whoa, it is crazy outside. And it's in 1080. I don't know if it matters for seeing us, but I'm trying to make it the best it can be for you guys. This is what the Patreon and stuff goes to. I always try to improve the show. But I appreciate you guys saying that. That means a lot. I've been working on this all week and been dying to get to do a show tonight. So yay. Can you see Figment back there? My lava lamp's not going. Sometimes I got to shake it. Oh well, I'll get it going for tomorrow. Oh, that's a rose on the clock back there. I guess that's for Mother's Day. should probably mute the Cardinals game. Da, 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 da. Hey, what's up, you? It's the last time I saw you, we were getting ready. You were finishing Tron, and I was getting ready to go on Tron. Oh, there it goes. Look. Whoa. That was big thunder. Lightning. We're so Midwest. Paige is home for the weekend for Mother's Day, and they're sitting on the front porch watching the thunderstorm come in. That's where they were. All right, let me pull up some news, and we'll get started because it's top of the hour. Let's see if Ricky wrote some stories. She did. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, what a night. Let's see if I can do this. Chrome tab. Can you guys see that? Oh, that's pretty fun. Cool. Happy Sunday, Ashley. Let's see here. Cool. All right. Well, Scott will be jumping in here shortly. Oh, wait a second. Hang on. Let me do this. Oh, dang. I forgot to change the title. Oh, well. We'll go with that for right now. If I do that. Okay. I'm still learning how to use this new thing. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Tonight could be an adventure. Especially when Scott gets in here because I got to add him on the fly. Because, Mother's Day. All right. And I got the laptop right in front of the comments. I'm just going to slide this out here. And I don't think I can see the Twitter comments. So if you're on Twitter, I can't see your comments. I don't think. All right, let's do this. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP Open Line for Sunday night, May 14th, Mother's Day, 2023. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com. And, of course, one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Again, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there in the Be Our Guest podcast family. Hope you had a wonderful and continue to have a wonderful Mother's Day. And not just for the moms, but for all the folks out there who take care of us. I know that, my wife, she's obviously a mom, Paige, Mallory, and she considers herself having 3 kids because she has me around. She always says that all the time. But teachers, she's the mom of a bunch of kids at school. I mean, let's get real. She's with them as much as their parents sometimes and takes care of all those kids at her elementary school. So teachers, you're like, you're like a mom sometimes. So happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. Hope you had a great day. Father's Day coming up though. It's almost, June. So gotta look at that. That's our time. But enjoy your day, Mother's Day. You guys deserve it every day, but especially today. So hope you had lots of desserts and good breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever it was. And maybe a trip to Disney. Who got surprised with a Disney trip? I doubt it, but that'd be awesome. All right. So today, Scott is going to be joining us shortly because speaking of Mother's Day, he's finishing up a Mother's Day meal with his wife. and the mother of his child, Emily. So he's going to be joining us shortly. They're on their way home from the restaurant, of course. He made his dinner reservation early so he could be with us, and everything was running late because it's Mother's Day. So we're going to be taking your calls at 407-413-9395 over the next hour, 417-413-9395. And we are using a new platform tonight. So we're going to be talking about this in this week coming up. But we are now broadcasting in HD quality. So if you watch the video on any of our streams, you will see it looks a lot better. And I think more importantly, that you can now watch us in 4 locations rather than just 2. You can get us on Facebook at Be Our Guest Podcast. You can also check it out on my Facebook page, just at Mike Rallman. But you can also check us out on YouTube at Be Our Guest Podcast. But 2 additional places you can watch the show at this point: Twitter. You can just watch it on my Twitter feed at Be Our Guest Mike. And you can watch the show on Twitch, which we made a Twitch account like 5 years ago. Never did anything with it. So just look for the Be Our Guest Podcast on Twitch. It looks really great on Twitch. I got to say, it's super clear. It's super fun over there. So check it out on Twitch, Be Our Guest Podcast. We're live in all these locations every time we do a show. So you can check it out over there and be a part of the podcast family. It's fun to kind of join us and chat with us live. It's a lot of fun. All right. So we're going to be talking about the news and taking your calls in just a second. I see the phone lines are lighting up. Give me 1 second to go over a couple of the news stories, and then we'll open the phone lines, because I'm not going to get into the, we talked about the news stories last Wednesday, but I just want to kind of go over some of the news, not the details, but just kind of do a quick outline of stuff we can talk about tonight. Obviously, some of the stuff we might want to talk about tonight: 2024 packages will go on sale on May 31st, the last day of this month. That's a Wednesday. May 31st, packages will go on sale for the 2024 season. Now, with that announcement, we got news that there's going to be pretty significant changes for the 2024 season starting on January 9th. The biggest couple, I think, are that Disney dining plans, 2 of them will return with packages. Now, not room only, but with packages. And I see somebody popping in right here. So let's get him in. Your friend and mine, Scotty G, who's full of PF Changs and makes connections with other people according to his fortune cookie. What's up, Scott?
Hey, Mike. Sorry to be a little late. We had to have Mother's Day dinner. Elizabeth just can't, make dinner on Mother's Day. Who does that, right? So going after the podcast would have been a little late, so I tried to time it right. The kitchen was a little slow tonight, but that's okay. I had a nice Japanese old-fashioned. Had some great, chicken fried rice, white rice, beef and broccoli, sweet and sour chicken. It was a great meal. But happy to be here. Just a little late, though, but I still made it on time, I feel like.
You got here way fast. I didn't think you were going to be here because Mother's Day.
We were speed dating. I told Elizabeth, you drive. You just like bulldoze through all those cones, because there's a lot of construction around our house right now. Like, just go through the cones. I don't care. I got to get there to Mike.
Well done. Okay, so what we're doing is we're not getting into the news stories. We're just kind of hitting an outline so we can take calls on all these topics, because we went over this stuff on Wednesday. Everybody knows about it by now. So we're going to talk about the Disney dining plans coming back, 2 of them. So we're going to have the standard dining plan and the quick service dining plan. So we could talk about that. The elimination, or the simplification, I think, is what I'm going to call it, of eliminating right now, at least for right now, as we get things started again. They're going to get rid of the deluxe Disney dining plan and that Disney dining plan plus that I think was only around for like 2 weeks in practice before COVID kind of shut everything down. So that, we hardly knew ye on that one.
Right.
Also, January 9th, if you have a package, basically what this means is packages, dated tickets. If you have dated tickets, you will no longer need a theme park reservation. Hallelujah. Which means you could go ahead and just do the bus roulette thing back in the old days. You could go to, walk out of Coronado Springs, walk down to the bus stops, just go where you want. I mean, that seems so crazy at this point, doesn't it, Scott? I mean, it's been so long. Like, that just seems so foreign.
Bus roulette is one of my favorite things to do. But granted, I've been talking about this for a while, though. Like, before the theme park reservations, you had to book, if you wanted, you could book 3 fast passes ahead of time. So in a way, you were kind of already making the theme park reservation, I thought. But this way, though, I mean, you got all that flexibility. You can definitely do the bus roulette game now.
I agree. So we're going to also get Genie Plus changes. Now, the whole thing is that there's a lot of vagueness, and it's supposed to kind of come into focus over the next couple of weeks. They said the goal is with Genie Plus to make things, to give the ability for the guests to schedule things before the day of, which I am a huge fan of. But this sounds exactly to me like FastPass Plus, right? Because what did we do back in the day? We'd schedule our FastPass experiences at home. Now, it might not be 60 days. It might be a week. It might be 10 days. I don't know. It might be 3 days. Who knows? But I love this idea because I hate the 7 a.m. thing. That's stress. And anything you can do ahead of time, I think for me is a win. I don't know how you felt about that.
I mean, one thing we've learned over the last 10 years, there's way more stress on a Disney vacation on the planning perspective than there has been in a long time. I feel like 10 years ago. So I agree. Like waking up at 7 a.m. is so stressful. You know, you got so many things you got to do to get out the door. And then that's one less thing that you have to worry about. Maybe you can do the night before, or you can do over a dinner or whatever, or you're at the pool, then you can make them for the next day. I feel like it's going to be much easier for us that like to use that product.
Yeah, I agree. So got that. They're going to keep the extended hours for the deluxe guests in the evening, which I think are hugely popular, getting people to kind of stay. I know a lot of my guests at the Magic for Less, they'll book split stays, you know, and they'll say, we're going to do like 2 nights at the end of the trip at a deluxe resort that corresponds with the night they're having deluxe evening hours. They love that. So that's kind of a big thing. We're also seeing they're simplifying some of the room views for some of the deluxe resorts, especially in the not Crescent Lake, but the monorail resorts. So that's going to be something that happens. Let's see. We're also getting, I'm trying to think what else. We got the new sushi restaurant coming to replacing Tokyo Dining in Japan. I don't know how you felt. But I mean,
it's not like Tokyo Dining, but the location, I feel like not much is going to change except the menu will be a little different, right? And it's probably not getting booked a lot. So this will be a freshened way to get more people to visit. So I'm all for that. I'm excited about it.
I never did do Tokyo Dining. Never made it there. I always wanted to, but I always ended up going to Teppanyaki or the hibachi place.
Yep. What I liked about Tokyo Dining, their kids meal was like a monorail plate. It was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Then like, we're like, oh man, I wonder if you can get this. So we asked our server, like, they were like, oh yeah, you can get it at the shop, the gift shop downstairs. Might give us $50 to get the monorail plate.
Oh my god, that's
never.
crazy.
And I love to like. I'm not afraid to spend money at Walt Disney World, especially for cool souvenirs that I like. But I couldn't even do it on that one. It was just too much for a little plate that Emily would have used like twice and been over with. You know.
That is true. My boy will spend money at Walt Disney World. Okay, especially on cool souvenirs. All right, so we have some other news. We'll hit that as we go along because we do see the phone lines are lighting up, which is why we're here. We'll talk about the Eat to the Beat concert series. We got some artists to talk about, some good ones coming up this fall. But let's get to the first call. They've been trying to get in here for quite a while. So, hey, who's joining us? Thanks for calling in. Hello, caller.
They've been trying to get in here for quite a while. So, hey, who's joining us? Thanks for calling
I hear yourself, Mike.
Yep, I do. Caller, are you there? Hello.
Hello.
Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Lynn.
Hey, how can we help you? What's on your mind?
Hi, I was wondering, on an average, how long, how many times do you go to Disney? How many?
Wait, say it again. I'm sorry. How many times do we go to Disney?
Disney, yeah, on an average year.
Thanks for calling. We appreciate it. We'll answer it right here. So, how many times do you go, Scott, in an average year?
A lot. So on an average year, I say, because I like to get the most out of my annual pass, right? Because we're annual pass holders. So I would say 3 to 5 times a year. Some of those are weekend, and the vary of the trips, you know, they vary, right? So like for a marathon weekend, we might do like 4 nights. Over the summer, we might do 10 nights. So it really varies, but typically around 3 to 5 different flights, different days, different stays.
Yeah, it's about the same for me too, right? Because I'll do the race weekends. So I usually do 2 to 3 race weekends throughout the year. That's a weekend, and then maybe 2 trips with the family.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we'll go down for the cruise. That'll be the vacation for the year. If I'm lucky, I'll get 2 vacations and 3 races. So that's 5.
That's a lot. What do you think for people that live in Michigan and Missouri? That's quite a bit.
That is quite a bit. All right. So the number is 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. I really want some of our regulars to call in and give us some feedback on what you think of the news from this week. And, you know, I want to hear what you think about, you know, were you expecting the dining plans to come back? is it something you are considering purchasing? And what is the next thing that you would like to see Disney bring back that has not come back yet? You know, I mean, honestly, didn't think.
Honestly, I think
Diamond-
most things come back now.
Well, I mean, you still got, you know, you could do nighttime parades. You know, I would like to see that.
A
Trying
couple
to think of-
restaurants. 1900 Park Fair still isn't back yet.
I can't believe that one. That
That's
one-
unbelievable to me, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when like Narcoossee's was out for all that time, you know? So that was like one less restaurant that you had at the Grand Floridian. Like it would have been, I mean, they're not like the same as apples and oranges, but like it would have been still nice to have that other option at the Grand Floridian.
Yeah. Because that's 1900 Park Fair.
It prints money, like with those characters.
Yeah, that one does. That one not being open with it just must be a staffing thing. Like it must take a lot to staff it because it's a character meal more than like a regular restaurant. But you're right, it's expensive.
So
And
speaking
it-
of staffing, though, so you haven't asked my thoughts on the dining plan, and that's kind of. So I love the dining plan. We used to use it all the time, but that's kind of my concerns right now. Are like, can they staff to it? So I hope they will do better staffing because you know the reservations are going to go through the roof now, Mike. Right? When people have these dining plans,
Right.
and I worry about that. Me as like a consumer, like, dang, I got to be right there on 60 days now. Like it's kind of challenging now. Just imagine when the dining plans are out. It's going to be really hard to get some of our favorites, which is fine. But I just hope like the staffing is there, and I hope the quality doesn't take a dip. That's another thing I'm worried about with the dining plan.
So you make ADRs. I don't make them. I mean, like we're going in July. I actually today at lunch, we had brunch for Mother's Day with the girls and my wife. And while we were sitting there, I shared our ADRs that you had made, and
Yeah.
everybody's getting excited. Mallory got super excited about Crystal Palace, by the way. And everybody got super
I
excited. about
did that one with her in mind. I assume that
No,
you're going to use a thing because I know the girls won't have annual passes, so I figured
No,
you might
we-
be using a ticket that day.
Yeah, we're gonna have theme park tickets for the back half of the trip, not the front half.
So I did book that with her in mind because we had a great time with her. Like you and Pam were off doing something, but Mallory joined the three of us, and she had a great time at that meal before.
Yeah, she loves that place, and Pam and Paige were excited too. I don't know if Paige is even gonna be there, but if she is, she'll be going. Anyway, we'll get her in. So here's the deal, though. Do you think are you finding it easier to make ADRs like when you for these harder to
Yeah.
book places like post COVID because there's no dining plan? What do you think? Like, are ADRs easier to come by now than say 2019?
I would say yes and no. So here's like the weird answer. It depends on the time of year. So I think summer ADRs are easier to get because you and I have talked about this many times that I don't think summer is like the hot item anymore. Well, I mean, it's hot when you're there, but I think it used to be like, oh, you got to take your summer trips down there. I've noticed that like, especially like after 4th of July, like I think the crowds go down a little bit there. So I've been finding it pretty easy to find things we want outside of one restaurant, Narcoossee's, which gosh, if anyone can get a Narcoossee's, holler at your boy because I would love to get back in that
You get in
restaurant.
Narcoossee's?
Well, it's my favorite restaurant, but since it's reopened, like it's the hottest item. Like you
Really?
cannot you cannot get in there since the refurbishment. It's crazy. But outside of that, I can get everything I want. I got a homecoming brunch easily, which I never find anymore. You know, like I got a Topolino. I could see Topolino's dinners and breakfast, and those are normally a hot item. So it kind of depends on the year, the time of year. Like marathon weekend, it might be kind of tough because you got
Right.
all these runners that want to do all these meals with characters and such. So that gets tough at 60 days. But so it's not a really solid answer. So my answer basically is at the time of year. But I would say, generally speaking, though, it is pretty challenging to still get them. It's only going to get worse once the dining plan is out.
No, that's right. Because I mean, and that's the whole thing is like I encourage folks that have packages to get the dining plan. You're going to pay for your food either way. You may as well pay for it. I'm just one of those people like to make it all inclusive, pay for it, part of your package, have it out of the way, just pay your gratuity.
Yeah, that's a nice thing. Yeah, don't forget to pay your gratuity. I think
Yeah.
think everyone listening to this knows to do that, but I just worry that some people think that's included, which it is definitely not.
Right. And tip well because people are working really hard, you know, and especially once you've prepaid your food, I think that just at least me, like that makes me want to tip more because I've already paid for the food. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. But Swansea Searchers asking, the issue with the dining plan is that we love signature dining at the Springs. Does this not include non-Disney restaurants? Yeah, you're right. It only does include Disney owned restaurants. Again, could change. We don't have details on it, but typically that is how it works because it's an opt-in and there are some exclusions.
You know what I would love them to bring back? This just like triggered something for me. with the dining would be the tables in Wonderland. Do you remember that thing?
Right.
Oh my God. Like I still have my latest one in my wallet. I mean, it
People
expired in
keep-
like
I know,
2019.
I see all kinds of people always on Twitter like, I've kept this just in case. Like, dude, give it up. It was 2017. Like, it is
Yeah.
that is not going to be valid. It's not coming back.
I mean, I used to use that card so much when I would come home in East Lansing. Like the first couple meals we would go out, it was such a habit to get the card out that I'd be at the Outback Steakhouse getting my Tables of Wonderland card out. Like, oh no, we don't, that's right, they don't accept that here.
so
Too bad they don't.
Well, let me get the phone number because again, we always get all these calls stacked up in the last like 15 minutes. 407-413-9395. Phone lines are wide open right now. Get in. Let's talk. We can talk Disney dining. We can talk Eat to the Beat concerts. We could talk Genie Plus changes. What would you like to see? 3 days out, 5 days out, 30, 60 days out. It's going to be a pay system, but what would you change? We got lots on the table for you tonight. Tables in Wonderland, though, for folks that don't remember, or we always get new folks that maybe this is going to be their first trip down. Kind of summarize what that was, because I think the key to that was if you're somebody who likes to have a beverage on your vacation, dude, that was a steal. And if you went as a group, if you had somebody like if you went as a table, holy cow, that thing would save you a ton of money.
Yeah, as a steal if you liked the alcoholic beverages for sure. Because when let's think about today's world, like a lot of restaurants will take an annual pass or a Disney Vacation Club discount, usually about 10% off, but that's never on your alcoholic beverage, which makes sense, right? I mean, it's like a specialty kind of item. So it'd be like off your food and like your soda, you get 10% off, which is really great. But the Tables in Wonderland, which was only offered to annual pass holders, DVC members, and like Florida residents, was 20% off. Now it did cost you up front. Like, it was like
$120 or something.
I think it was originally like 75, then it was 100, then it got to like 125.
Yeah.
But every time it increased, it was still worth it to me. Because to your point, Mike, now you could only use like one card. Like the person that had the card had to pay for the whole meal. So you couldn't really do like split checks. So if me and Mike were together and Mike didn't have it, we couldn't split the checks and Mike got the discount. That was the
I'd have to hook you up.
But it's so much easier today with like Venmo and things like PayPal and things like that. So
Apple Pay, Apple Cash.
So if you had like a group of 10, because it was good up to 10 people, and you went out and everyone had like a cocktail, or the adults had one cocktail, you got a couple appetizers and had all these big meals. I mean, that's a $500 to $600 meal normally. So that would cover your purchase in one meal. And then you were just free rolling the rest of the time, basically.
It was good for a year. Or no, was it not good for 18 months one time, I think?
Yeah, one time it was good for 18 months. And like if you timed it right, like it was good through like the next month's like last day. So once I got it like on like March 1st, and it was good through like April 30th or something like the next year. Because I got like 2 free months basically. It was so awesome. So if you like timed the way you purchased it, it was great. But I honestly didn't think they would bring the dining plan back. I mean, I know it was so popular, right? And it's really good when you book packages and things like that. But I would bet money that they'll never bring unfortunately, the Tables in Wonderland back. Because like, I don't know how they could be making money off of that. Like it felt like I was like stealing from Disney when I used it. It was such a great deal.
I know, and I thought the exact same thing. But I mean, they had to come out ahead on the thing.
They wouldn't offer
it year after year after year. I mean, they offered it until COVID. I mean, they didn't take it away until COVID, did they? I think that was when it ended. Did it?
Yeah, I mean, they stopped selling them. During like the early days of COVID, they just stopped selling them. But if you had one, you could still use it, and they would give like the extra 3 months or whatever. So the person I knew that had the latest one was actually Pam, because she got it like on March 15th is when she renewed it or whatever, which is like right when the parks closed.
Then her best friends with Pam.
I remember dining with them once. And she's like, I got my Tables in Wonderland. And the server was like, no, that's not going to be good. She's like, oh, believe me, it's good. And he was like, oh my God, like you got it like the last day you could get it. It was pretty awesome. I
just remember because I always bought it too, it was one of those things because I'm a cheapwad, right? And the whole thing was I'd hate to spend, because one thing, it was almost like you're buying a coupon. You know what I'm saying? Like you're buying something to have the opportunity to save money. But if you just thought about it for 10 seconds, it's like, Mike, you're going to have this for 18 months. You use it like 3 times. And you're going to use this like probably 20 times. And
the break even point was so easy to figure out because it was 20% off. So if it cost $100, once you spent $500 on it, you were good. You got your money's worth. And what I loved about it? So it was kind of like the gratuity, right? So it'd be like you would get 20% off at the table service, but then they would add 18% gratuity. So you're kind of like getting your gratuity free. But there were certain restaurants, so like say Pop Century Resort, that did not have a table service restaurant, you could use it at the food court and you would just get a straight up 20% off. There is restaurants in Animal Kingdom, because this was at a time Animal Kingdom didn't have very many table service restaurants. So you could go to Pizzafari, you can go to Flame Tree, and it would just be like a straight up 20% off your meal, which was so awesome. Oh man, I miss it.
No, I think French Quarter, food court. Yeah, because they didn't have it. They didn't have it.
Basically, if it was at a location that didn't have a table service restaurant, because it was that's basically what this card was made for, was the table service restaurants. But if you're at a place that didn't, like a hotel or a resort or whatever, yeah, you got it at their counter service or their food courts, and that was just, dude, it was so easy. Like at Pop Century, you know, you go get breakfast and like, I mean, you get like a $40 breakfast, 20% off. Boom, you're just in $8
in a week. I mean, that's a lot.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, now
it added up.
Okay, hashtag bring back tables. Okay,
so that's why I struggled sometimes when like, because like do we get the dining plan or do we use tables or do we get tables in Wonderland? That was like seriously like math I would do in my head. Like, okay, this is where we're eating. This is what it would cost for the dining plan. And tables always won. Just 20% is like a crazy number.
This is what Scott was doing at work on Mondays instead of
basically back in the day before I was a manager. That's what I did.
All right, we have our next caller. Hey, who's joining us?
Hey guys, it's Brandon from New Hampshire. Also, Swansea Searcher in the chat.
Oh, what's up, Brandon? Hey, thanks for giving us a holler. Hope you have a good weekend.
Oh no, we had a fantastic week down there. We were down there the 6th through the 13th, and I will tell you, I've never seen crowds as low as they were this past week. It was fantastic.
It's a blessing and a curse, man. I you know, it's awesome when you're there and there's not many people there, but let's hope it kind of balances out. But when you're there,
Absolutely.
You're winning though, right? That's good to see though. It's good to have a week like that.
Yeah, for sure. I just wanted to bring up another thing that you guys, I don't think you really ever talked about is we are a Disney Visa Chase card holder. And so when we got over to Epcot and my wife got to meet Mickey Mouse and Goofy over next to Figment there over in the Imagination Pavilion, she was elated to be able to walk into there in the air conditioning when it was 92 degrees outside this past week and just meet these characters one-on-one. They spent a good 7-8 minutes with us taking pictures. It was just absolutely fantastic. What a great benefit for the card.
So Scott and I talked about this on a show probably about 6 months ago or so. Now we were talking about, do you remember back in the day? I don't know if you remember this, but that we've talked about this exact benefit that nobody talks about anymore. Back in the day with this benefit, not only did you get this like one-on-one quality time with a Disney character, sometimes it was Pluto, sometimes it was Mickey Mouse. I always got Pluto because we did it every trip and it seemed like it was a lot of time it was Pluto. But back in the day, you got like a physical photo. Like you would go to the photo shop by the base of Spaceship Earth, like on your way out of the park, and you got like a full on like 8x10
printed
yeah
photo, correct?
I mean, for free. You know what I mean? You got a physical thing. Like they don't give you free stuff typically. Scott, you remember you got that too, right?
Oh my God, we did it all the time. Like we would go to Epcot. I mean, we would go to Epcot like 3 to 4 times a trip with like park hopping. Like whether you started your day there, you ended your day there. We was always at Epcot. So yeah, we always did that. But they would still get me though, Mike, because on my way out of that gift shop, I would buy like 2 Diet Cokes and a water or something. So I was still spending money. But yeah, I loved it.
You're a good consumer.
Yeah, you still spent the money, Scott.
Yeah. So Brandon, tell me about some dining you did, like because you and me, like we're usually on par on the same page with the dining. So where'd you go? I'm sure you went to Toledo, right?
The first time we did Chef Art Smith's, and that was absolutely fantastic. My wife got the fried chicken meal, of course. She had to get the fried chicken, and I got the chicken paillard, which is new on their meal, which has a like lemon caper sauce on top of it. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic. It's almost like a schnitzel. They're pounded down really thin, then fried. Absolutely delicious. We got the fried green tomatoes, which were fantastic. We got the hush puppies, which had a little kick to them, a little bit of heat with a pepper jelly sauce that went along with it. This was our first time trying Chef Art Smith's, and oh my God, were we impressed.
Oh my, I love hush puppies, and those sound like next level hush puppies, and we're going there. Was it before the cruise or after the cruise?
So I have a brunch for 4. I need to work on trying to get more because I only have 4.
You're not going. No, just kidding. Or just toss me a couple hush puppies over the fence.
There you go.
No, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, that sounds good. So you went there for dinner then, it sounds like. Because I've only done dinner there like once.
Like mid-afternoon. We did like a 2:30 in the afternoon reservation, kind of like mid-afternoon. So that way you're not, we eat breakfast at Pop when we go there in May. And again, I can't complain about their breakfast. It's cafeteria food, but it's like not high school cafeteria food. It's elevated. It's no different than going to any other resort like Coronado. I'm not going to say it's amazing, but it fills the spot. You know what I mean? So we ate breakfast early. We went to the parks, and then we went over to Chef Art Smith's at Disney Springs on our day off on Wednesday, and it was fantastic. We did way too much shopping. But also with the Disney Visa card, it's kind of nice when you get into these stores, especially the Disney World store there. You get 10% off your purchases of anything over $50, whether it's in the parks or, World of Disney or whatever. And also a lot of the restaurants, Chef Art Smith's being one of those too, which was another 10% off. So the card really isn't fantastic as far as the benefits unless you're actually in Disney World.
I didn't even know that. So thank God you told me that. I got to jot all this down. It's 10% off at home because we're going down on the 1st and our cruise is on the 3rd, and we aren't going to have tickets for that day and a half that we're there. And we're just going to go to Disney Springs and browse and snack and eat and, hang out at dig site.
Yeah, Polite Pig's another one, Mike, that you actually get 10% off at Polite Pig.
Oh my God,
any
we're
of
there.
Any of the merchandise locations around, like even Connections, you get into, what's the one that you come out of Epcot, and when you're walking in, not the main entrance, but the World Showcase entrance there, the one on the left-hand side when you start coming up the little hill there, is it? Oh, I can't remember the name of the gift shop. That's another one that's got the
the World Travelers store. Yeah.
Yes,
I
World
like that
Travelers
little
has that as
store.
well.
Yeah, I like that little store.
They always have great festival merchandise, like
They do.
like if there's like an Orange Bird Festival or a Figment or whatever, like all sorts of good stuff in there.
Probably got a really good deal on Harmonious stuff right now.
I'll tell you right now, this past week at Flower and Garden, there were characters everywhere. We saw Daisy in multiple spots. We saw Mickey, Goofy everywhere. Chip and Dale were everywhere, especially in Epcot. And we actually saw Aurora over by France when you're walking into, we were doing Ratatouille, and she's on the right-hand side. They got that little roped off area, which is probably 10 by 12 feet or whatever. There were characters everywhere this past week, and they showed up at Pop Century in this special little bus where Chip, Dale, and Daisy got out of the bus, and they were greeting people walking in and out of the resort. I mean, this past week was fantastic for character interactions. That
bus, now, first time I saw the bus was during COVID when they were really trying to, jazz things up when there wasn't as much happening. I'm glad they kept that. That's one of the things,
they did. We started at Coronado Springs back in 2021 during COVID for the first time, and we got off and there was Pluto and Goofy standing there. And we're like, what the hell is this? And the bus that sits there is like a really cool little, it's like an extended short bus, I guess, from a high school, but not as big as like a coach bus.
Right. And the thing is, I'm glad that Disney has taken lessons that, okay, we had to really modify things up, in 2020, 2021 because of the circumstances. But they have, at least over the past like 6 months, it's like, the Harmonious wasn't well received. I mean, some people loved it. Scott was a big fan of it, but I mean, they didn't about face on that. The Disney dining plan, they're bringing it back. They're not bringing back all 4 plans. They're bringing back the 2 most popular plans. That people don't like theme park reservations. They're trying to phase them out for some people, not everybody yet, but some. I mean, at least I'm thinking that they're trying to get people what they're looking for. And the biggest word that I'm kind of seeing, is, and I'm trying to look at the big, 30,000 foot pictures, like compromise, right? Because obviously they're a company. They want people to be happy because that makes them the most amount of money. That's the bottom line. They want to they want to keep the consumer happy to make the most amount of money, but it's also compromise because I thought, 9 months ago, it was always, I felt like Disney was just getting to be like, it's our way or the highway. You know what? Like, you love us.
Right.
And you're either if you love us, you're going to stick with us, or just too bad, so sad. And I don't feel that way anymore. I feel a lot better. Like, I feel like we're kind of meeting halfway. Like, the fans are getting everything they want, but we're getting some of what we want right now. So I can live with that.
Absolutely. I mean, again, the nickel and diming thing is a conversation a lot of people have. And I look at it as they're a business. They have to make money. I don't think they're in the same mindset with the previous CEO, is that they're trying to price people out as much, but also they're trying to give you as much experiences in the park to make the value for the dollar. Like we saw Divine as soon as we walked into the park, which is fantastic, at Animal Kingdom the other day on Friday, which was great. Kevin was everywhere around that park. I mean, there were characters everywhere. Doug was to be found. I mean, I think they're trying to appease everybody at the same time, being the fact that the prices are so high. I don't think that it's the same mindset where, yeah, everybody complains online that they're pricing people out, but they're also trying to increase the value at the same time, to be honest with you. I mean, this last trip was fantastic to see a lot of those character interactions, more time with little kids, you know, that Daisy was walking up to these little kids and posing for pictures as a walk around character with their security guards versus just walking through and waving. So I got to give them credit for that.
Right. When I was down there for the 10 miler that weekend, speaking of that store, the World Traveler over there at the International Gateway entrance, I saw Daisy kind of pop out from the side of that store, you know, because there's like a doorway there where the characters can come in and out. And she grabbed like a little girl was just like, you know, because like all of a sudden, boom, there's a character there, right? You know, I mean, any little kid would freak out because it just came out from like, you know, you didn't even notice like a gate there. And all of a sudden, boom, like character pops out, Daisy pops out with a handler. And immediately this girl's like, she's probably like 3. She's like just, you know, goo-goo eyed. And Daisy grabbed her hand and walked her hand in hand to her, wherever her meet and greet spot was up that hill. I didn't see where they ended up going. They were going for a long way. And like the mom was going nuts. Like, you're walking with Daisy. And she was taking, I mean, but it was like, I mean, like I'd seen this at Disneyland, but I had never seen this happen at Walt Disney World, especially at Epcot. Like, I mean, Epcot's crazy, but this was the commercial moment that like, they're going to go home and tell this to 100 people. You know, it doesn't matter really what else happened on that trip. This is what they're going to talk about. And those pictures are going to be all over social media. They're like, oh, they might have 10 friends. They might have 1,000 friends. I don't care. They're going to talk about that for 5 years. And I am talking about it right now because I don't know who they are, but it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, no, we saw Alice for the first time in a long time over by the Canada Pavilion. Then we started walking back down to catch the Skyliner. And for the first time ever, and we've been coming here for years now, the Mad Hatter was doing a meet and greet right by World Travelers, the store there on the right-hand side. And the guy sounded exactly like the movie. I mean, he was making cracks about the Alice in Wonderland movies and you know, commentary about the Cheshire Cat and stuff like that. It was absolutely hilarious, but I've never seen him in the park before.
Yeah. I mean, Scott, your character, like I like watching characters like third person because, you know, me too. I'm not a movie
I'm not
person.
getting near him. That's not my thing.
Yeah. But I mean, you got to have them in a Disney park though, because it's the atmosphere, right?
Absolutely.
It's the wallpaper, it's the experience. And I love seeing kids meet their hero, you know, their heroes, whether it is the Mad Hatter or who have, you know, I mean, I love seeing like Frozone and Buzz Lightyear and stuff, but I mean, Scott, you guys are in, you know, more into the characters. I mean,
I like to seek out the characters. It's not so much as more my daughter isn't into it as much as she gets older, but it's still fun. Like it's what Disney is to me, right? It's just seeing those characters. It reminds me of our early trips, you know, where we spent more time in lines for characters than we did attractions. We also spent more time in restaurants than we did attractions too in those early days. But
I'm there, Scott. I'm more time in the lines for the restaurants. My wife is a character fanatic. She's 48 years old and has the heart of a 10-year-old. I'm telling you, she gets so.
It's fun though. It's fun. Yeah. I mean, it's not for everybody, but it's fun for me. I love it.
That's what I love about Disney, though, is we can all have the things we like, right? I mean, I'm getting less and less about the attractions. I hate to say that, like, because 10 years ago I was all about attractions, dude. I am so looking forward to just hanging out at the Grand Floridian in Coronado Springs and being on the cruise ship. I mean, I'm excited about being at Walt Disney World, but I'm being less and less excited about Space Mountain and Haunted Mansion and all that stuff. And it's wild because I used to be all about that and it wasn't that long ago. And I don't feel like it's an age thing. I think it's just about my tastes are changing and I think it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Haunted Mansion is still my go-to ride. That's my favorite. Absolutely. But we're more about walking around and like the Disney World Railroad being there open this time. We did amazing. In 4 hours, we did 12 rides at Magic Kingdom, but we also rode the railroad 4 times, not included in those 12. So we were able to get on the railroad and just ride it around the park and use it as transportation at the same time, but just soaking in the atmosphere from what I remember when I was younger. And we came a couple of times in high school. Again, like I said, the marching band thing was the times I ever came. But just to get on that train again and soak up the riverboat, you know, I got my wife on it for the first time, and the amazing pictures I took from the back side of Haunted Mansion and what the castle looks like from the top of the riverboat, and you know, Tom Sawyer Island and the rocking chairs and stuff like that. It just, to me, it's less about the rides, but it's more about the experience and the atmosphere, enjoying the resort, enjoying the dining. You know, go about it casually because, again, that'd be different for somebody that's coming once a year or once in a lifetime. We just enjoy it. The more we come, the more we get to experience and the more fun it is.
You said it is perfect. I, mean,
I just see it as like my park, like my local park. Like if I was just going for a walk here in East Lansing, it's just my park where I want to just sit down and like people watch and maybe grab an ice cream cone or whatever. Like it's just my place to just be and relax. And it's cool that there's roller coasters and stuff, but maybe I'll do one every now and then. But like, yeah, I just want to be in that atmosphere, just people watching, just enjoying the breeze or what have you, and the resorts too. I like to do the same thing at the resorts. That's my jam these days.
We'll leave you with this last thought on my time is we did Guardians of the Galaxy back in December when we were down there at least, and we got that Run Rudolph variety. We got Everybody Wants to Rule the World twice while we were down there, which is fantastic. It's great. Test track's fantastic. I'm going to go out on a limb here and tell you that we did Tron, and it didn't hold a candle to Guardians of the Galaxy. It's such a short ride. It was fun, but for the amount of people that wait, the amount of time that they do to do Tron, I couldn't imagine not paying for that and getting on it. And even by paying for it, I was very disappointed. That was a pretty short ride for 5 years worth of construction and shutting down my railroad.
Hot take.
Yeah. I need one more restaurant though. Where else did you go besides Art Smith? Did you go to Toledo? I know it's your jam.
I need to make a sound effect for like Brandon's hot take of the day. No, give one more restaurant and then we'll cut you loose.
We did Toledo again. We actually traveled over to Coronado Springs again because now they're a Michelin recognized restaurant at the top of Gran Destino. I don't know if you guys knew that, but they're actually recognized again. So now they're not a Michelin star restaurant; they're Michelin recognized. But yeah, no, we've always had a good time at the Tapas Bar there at the top of Gran Destino Tower. So I will leave you gentlemen with that. But yes, my hot take on Tron Guardians is much better.
See, I like Tron better just for the fact that I can't do Guardians. I can't spin. I can do it once.
See, I don't think I'll be able to do Tron.
So
you Guardians,
you turn. Get real here. You don't spin. You turn a little bit. Keep your eyes forward. Whatever direction that ride vehicle is putting you in, stay focused on that direction. Don't turn your head left or right. Yes, that would make me sick, I'm guessing. But if you keep your eyes forward, keep your eyes on the prize, I think you'll be good.
There's another one of your hot takes there, Mike.
Keep your eyes on the prize. Because I know the girls are going to want to do it, so I'll probably do it once, and I'll probably regret it.
Go.
But I'll regret it like 2 seconds in. As it's launching, I'm like, stupid, shouldn't have done this, and then I'm just gonna be holding on for dear life.
Don't forget, they always have the open top trash cans when you come out of that queue.
See, any ride, you got to have that at the end. Not good, not fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely
not.
But again, to their credit, they don't have puke bags yet, like Mission Space.
Yeah, see, I can do that one, but this is wrong. I don't know. Anyway, hey, Brandon, we appreciate the call. Great stuff, and we have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week. Hopefully, have a good one. All right, Brandon, hot takes and good thoughts.
We didn't even talk about the hat. Like he loves this hat that I'm wearing, and we didn't even talk about it. I think he's got two of them
because he had
because you got to have a backup, right?
Well, it's true. I did see that hat when I was down there for the 10.
I'm excited to know if there's going to be like any 25th anniversary like cruise line hats.
I saw a lot of teal stuff, but it seemed mostly girly stuff.
I'm fine with that. Like I love all colors.
No, but it was more like backpacks and stuff, like
lounge
and like spirit jerseys. Like I want a polo or something. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
We'll find out. We'll find out in like 7 weeks.
You gonna buy that the Bluetooth speaker?
I don't think I can.
I told Pam. I told my wife. I said, I don't think Scott. I was telling her about the speaker. I said, and it's cool looking. I was like, it's like $150. I was like, so we're not gonna get it. I said, but I bet you Scott does. And she said, does Scott have a pool? I said, I don't think he has a pool, but he did say he's got a bathtub.
I mean, Uncle Orville needs to jam out too, though. I'm just saying. But my in-laws have a pool though, so it could be kind of cool to take there. Or like my quiet pool at Old Key West, where I'm always the only person in.
Dude, that would be a baller move to bring it on your vacation.
And you play my Scotty's Feeling Yachty playlist. It's perfect.
Dude, what if you dude, you're onto something here. You buy the Little Wish Bluetooth speaker and say, yeah, you're the quiet pool at Old Key West, and you put on the Old Key West loop.
Oh,
dude, because you got all the loops. Yeah. You have almost every loop.
That's
what about that? I sent you that I sent you
Oh,
a
the Trader
loop
Sam's loop.
from Trader. That loop is awesome. I've
Yeah, it
listened to that
is.
loop like 5 times.
Yeah.
That is a
I'm
great
trying to
loop.
come up with like a Caribbean like beach to have like at like Castaway Key or whatever. And I just keep basically saying like, well, I got the old Key West loop. That should be good enough, right? I mean, that's what
It is.
it kind of feels like.
Jen had a question here, so I was scrolling back here real quick. 407-413-9395. Give us a call. You got to be as good as Brandon. Now you don't have to be that good because he's pretty awesome. And he has a really good voice, better than both of us. So it's pretty good too.
Everyone's got a better voice than me.
He should be a radio DJ. Jenna says, so my son may be going to San Diego for a music competition. If you only had one day at Disneyland, what would you do? So I would get Genie Plus for sure.
Yes.
And I'd probably get a one-day hopper ticket and just go at it.
I would hop. I mean, I know it's pricey, but like Mike, I've listened to episodes that I'm not even on, and you tell the story about how DCA is my favorite domestic Disney park. I mean, you got Radiator Springs, you got the whole like Avengers campus. Like, it is a gorgeous park. So I would definitely park hop. I would not do any table service dining because that would just take up too much time. Just do quick service, be quick because you got one day, and I just go all out and just nonstop, right? And definitely Genie Plus. That's the best tip you can give right there, Mike.
Yeah, and especially too, like get there at park opening. I mean, you know, you can get so I would start at Disneyland.
Yes.
And I would start in Fantasyland and get that stuff just and just wipe out Fantasyland, stacking Genie Plus. Because
I would try to stack your DCA attractions.
That's what I would do. I'd be in Disneyland, doing Fantasyland first, and stacking DCA and go from there.
I would also buy an individual lightning lane for Radiator Springs because that's going to save you a lot of time.
I would too. It's going to get expensive, but man, you're going to have a killer day.
I hate those shirts that say most expensive day ever, but this is starting to turn into that.
This is, yeah, it will be. Don't wear the shirt.
Just don't wear the shirt.
I hate those shirts too.
That'll be fun. And good luck at the music competition in San Diego. I'm actually kind of curious to hear about that. That sounds awesome.
Yes. And yeah, I agree. And we get a lot of folks who go to San Diego with their Disneyland trips. I know you're a huge fan of that. You you actually flew in and out of San Diego.
I just love that town, and like going to the zoo is great. And there's so many like restaurants, beaches in that area, and that drive up to Disneyland is just on like the Pacific Coast Highway is just one of the coolest drives you can take.
How long is the drive of that? Is that 45
minutes?
minutes?
It depends on the traffic. Longer than that. It's like an hour and a half ish, I would say, but it's fun. You're just driving along the ocean, man.
You see the ocean the whole time?
Most of the time. I mean, there's places where you got to go like inland more, to like do some curves and stuff, but then you kind of get back on the coast. It's awesome.
I might have to do that next time. Because this last time I flew into LAX just because I'm a huge Amazing Race fan and I want to see LAX because that's always where they fly out of at the initial like rush out of the country. And it's nothing special.
Like the Little Italy area in San Diego is awesome. Wade turned me on to like my new favorite breakfast spot called Morning Glory. So if I'm in Southern California, I have to go to Morning Glory now. It is the coolest spot for breakfast.
Dang.
So that's what you do, man. You book a couple of days in San Diego. I know you're not as big as a zoo guy. I mean, I don't think you are, but
no, not really.
San Diego Zoo is awesome. It is really pretty.
But I would if the Padres are playing. I'm more of a Dodgers guy than a Padres guy. I know you're a Padres guy over a Dodgers guy.
Because I like San Diego. I mean, both are.
And I like Dodger Stadium, dude. I fell in love with Dodger Stadium.
Dude, Petco is awesome though, man. There's some great. I know. It's very cool. Yeah.
Because that has that old building in left field. I want to go to that park. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even know this. I mean, he would know. I know William's a West Coast guy, but I didn't realize that the PCH went all the way up into Washington State. That's awesome.
Like, dude, where's Disneyland? We're in Washington. Like, there's Canada coming up. Next exit. I think we missed our exit. Crazy. All right, 407-413-9395. How about we talk about real quick the artists for Eat to the Beat?
Ooh, okay.
Well, we're not going to read them all, but I'll get some of the ones that you may have heard of and see if this gets you excited. We got Tiffany. We got Ruben Studdard. Remember him from?
He's an American Idol guy, right?
He should have won because
like Clay Aiken won or something, right?
But Ruben was awesome, I thought.
Or do we have that backwards, or did Clay win? I don't remember.
No, I think Clay Aiken won.
Okay.
I don't know. In the chat, let us know. But I think Ruben came in second. But Ruben was awesome.
I remember Ruben had a song called "This Is My Sorry" for 2004. I liked that song. That was my jam.
Oh no, Ruben won. They're saying.
Okay. Yeah, I thought Ruben won and Clay was
Oh,
runner
really?
up. Yeah.
Oh,
My mom was a huge Clay Aiken fan. That's how I felt like I knew that for some reason.
Clay Aiken had kind of a bigger career though, I think. Right?
I think that's how it worked. Ruben won, but Clay had the bigger,
You got a contract
after. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, anyway, well, Ruben gets to play at Epcot, so what's up?
Yeah.
He's gonna be
Where's
there all-
Clay at? Come on now. Like, this is the big time right here.
Let's see, the Bacon brothers. I guess that's Kevin Bacon, and maybe he's got a brother. I don't know.
Yeah, so what's up with that? Like, I want to go to that just to see Kevin Bacon. That's all.
Is he gonna go? I thought this was a party. Let's dance. Like
Yes.
it's Footloose and everybody's
Yes,
going,
it's Footloose, yes.
That'd be
How
awesome.
great would that be? He just does like the Footloose soundtrack, and like Kenny Loggins comes out too.
Let's hear it for the boy.
That's actually on my marathon list, my playlist. Let's hear it for the boy. Yep. Dude, that song fires me up, man. I love it.
Admitted to that on the air.
Dude, that bass, boom, 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 boom. Ooh, man, it's my jam.
This is why you need to listen to the Sunday night shows, people. You don't get this on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday shows. Let's see, we got Joey Fatone and friends. So he's the guy he's the huge Disney fan who was NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. One of those.
I want to say
he
Backstreet Boys.
runs some of the Disney races too, I think.
Yeah.
I think he did the full marathon one year. Let's see who
Oh,
else.
no, NSYNC. I was corrected. NSYNC. Dang, I had a 50-50 shot.
Bye. Let's see. We got Baha Men who let the dogs
Let
out.
the dogs out. Yeah.
Mercy Me. Ray Parker Jr. Isn't he the Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Dude, these people have one song like 30 years ago,
Yeah.
and they get to sing it Epcot.
See, I'm curious what their other set list is like.
I know.
Does he do like a 20-minute version of Ghostbusters, or is there like other songs in the catalog?
That's true. Yeah,
There could be some covers because, like, when I know you're going to read another list, like Boys to Men. I mean, they were playing Lenny Kravitz songs. They played "Come Together" by the Beatles. It was, I mean, I know I talked about it in the show, but that was the best set I've ever seen at Epcot of all time. It was so great.
Oh my gosh, Toby Mac, and then there's for 2 nights Celebrity Latin Talent. I guess that's
I
like
don't know
a
what that is.
cover band. Maybe let's see. 98 Degrees. Let's see, it gets better towards the end of
Some
as
boy
we get
boys
into like
now.
the end of September, moving into October.
Yeah.
Then Boys to Men.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Just in case, plan your trip September 29th to October 2nd.
See, that's weird. I saw them during Wine and Dine, so they're there early this year.
Well, this is during Wine and Dine.
I meant like food and like the Wine and Dine, like the food and like the Wine and Dine race weekend.
Oh, the race.
Yeah.
So this would be like,
So that's early.
oh yeah, that's way early. Yeah, okay, yeah, that'd be way early. Mark Wills, he's a good country singer actually. October 6th, 7th. Sugar Ray, that's Pam will be booking a
I
trip.
love Sugar Ray. I mean, they got a great like 5 to 6 songs. Like I already know their set list, and it's gonna be great.
Let's see. Hobostank. I don't know them. I can't
Hobostank.
remember them. Air Supply. Dude, I saw them a lot when I was in high school. I saw them at Six Flags because I had a season pass. And
Air Supply's
oh, they
Air
have
Supply's good. They got some good songs, but like a lot of people like to put them in the yacht rock category, which I 100% disagree with. Like I don't
Really?
think
You don't
Air
think-
Supply is yacht rock for me, but it's all right.
They're like so would you say they're like soft rock?
They're I mean, and yacht rock is soft rock, but it's just like it's a little too soft or a little too slow for yacht rock, I think. But you know, controversy.
Is that them?
When my Disney Wish boat is floating on at an old Key West pool, you will not be hearing Air Supply come out for my yacht rock playlist.
Let's see. And then
I'm
you
not
got
hating on them though. I like them.
you got Taylor Dane. Tell it to my heart. Billy Ocean. That's not bad.
Okay.
Hanson. Bop.
Hanson gets a big crowd. They have a huge
Yeah.
following.
They have a huge following.
Like all the cast members are going to be like booking that one. You know, they're all going to be there for that one.
Yeah, that's a weird one because they weren't that popular like when they were popular. Well, I guess
Exactly.
they were. I don't
Kinda,
know.
yeah.
It seems like they're more popular now than they were back.
I think so.
Because I used to play them at the skating rink back in the day. Sheila E. She was popular like in the 80s. Big Bad Voodoo Daddy and 38 Special. 38 Special, good rock band out of the
Oh,
80s.
38 Special. Okay.
Was that Come On Loosely? Don't Let Go.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. There we go. Dude, this is making love out of nothing at all. There you go. That's a classic Air Supply song.
See, that's
right
not yacht rock to me.
So there you go. And there's a whole bunch of other ones that I've never heard
Every
of.
woman in the world. Like, I mean, that's
Yeah.
how I rock.
And
I like the songs though. I do like the songs.
anyway, so you can
Yeah.
get your food on. Your
So
food
I
line
argue
on,
this all the
and-
time, Mike. So Lansing used to have this thing called Common Ground Festival, where we have this park in downtown Lansing where artists would come, artists of this caliber, right? They were like popular at one point. Now they're like 20 years, 20, 30 years ago. They're not so popular anymore. But they would come for this music festival. And it would be like 35, 40 bucks to go to it. And I always say, like, that's where you get great value at Epcot. Like, it's part of your ticket. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can go and have a great day doing all these rides, drinking, eating, having all this fun, and then you go see a show at the end. How awesome is that?
I think this is a great ad too for like when you have an annual pass.
Yes.
Because so when I was down for the 10 miler, right? I was going into the studios that day to get my grilled cheese for lunch. So I was going in like 11:30 or something. And they had those like, message boards out where the ticket booths before you went into the turnstiles. And they had a sign, for what's happening. And I saw that there was a band called, what was it called? Like, oh, dude, what was the name of the band? Because it was a cover band. It was something like Foreign. It was a combination of Foreign Journey or something like that.
Okay, that makes sense though. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Dude, I was like, I gotta go to that. I was like, I love Foreigner and I love Journey.
Yeah.
So because I wasn't gonna go to Epcot that night. So I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna get my grilled cheese sandwich. But then I immediately changed my plans for that night. This beauty of having an annual pass. So that night, instead of doing what I was gonna do, I just at like 6 o'clock, I went and got one slice of pizza from the Viet Napoli pizza window, grabbed a Coke Zero, and just walked right over to dude. The concert was awesome.
It's
I mean,
awesome.
it was a band,
There's-
but I'm like, this is great.
Like, I'll listen to anyone. Like, there's something to say about live music. Like, live music is just so good. Like, when I was in Nashville for work, like, I don't like country music, and every bar on Broadway has like a live band playing country music, basically. And like, I loved it because there's something about live music, and that's why I love that with Epcot. And what's cool, like you said, like you brought, like you had your slice of pizza, you brought your Coke, and you can bring like your beer or like I love to bring like the shaved ice from Japan into the theater sometimes. Like, it's so nice. Like, you can just sit back, relax for like 25, 30 minutes, have a drink or whatever. And be highly entertained. It's so awesome. It's a really good value of your ticket. Like, if you're not really, I know a lot of people call like Epcot like a food court or whatever. Like, you pay this cover charge to eat and drink basically, but there's some good benefits like that, especially. And it's not just this one, Mike. There's like, they bring the Broadway performers during like the Festival of the Arts. Like, there's those cover band ones that you just saw. Then you got the actual bands for Food and Wine. I mean, they're just all over the place. It's awesome.
That's what they're called. They're called Foreigner's Journey. Thank you, Brandon. When I saw that, I'm like, I'm there. I mean, immediately I was like,
So did they mash up any of their songs? Like,
no, but
like
here's
Don't Stop Believing to like the
They
the
should've.
melody of Cold as Ice or something.
But here's the thing. You knew exactly what they're going to play, though, right? Because it hits
yeah.
them both. But here's the funny thing. Because I FaceTimed you and Wade and like played the music like when they came on with like when he did Don't Stop Believing. But the lead singer, he would sound just like Steve Perry. But then like when he sang Foreigner, he sounded just like the lead singer of Foreigner. It was wild. Like, it
What
blew
a
my
range.
mind.
Yeah.
It was crazy because like it was like he was a dual personality or something. Because he'd be like, I'm like, oh my god, he sounds just like Steve Perry. And then all of a sudden he'd be like, it's cold as ice. I'm like, oh my god, it's not Steve Perry anymore. He's whoever this guy is. I'm like, this is wild. I mean, the guy was crazy. And that's what I've noticed too, is like even the cover bands they bring in are like, we saw Slippery When Wet. We saw like a Village People. Was that Village People we saw the one time cover band, or it was a disco band?
Bee Gees.
The Bee Gees. They were
Staying
awesome.
Alive. Staying Alive is their band name.
Staying
Yeah.
Alive. I mean, it was so much, and it just, that whole like area just lends itself to just everybody's in a good mood. Everybody's at a theme park. You're right. It's fun. Like, it's.
I think they need a third band in this group though. I think it needs to be like Foreigner's Journey, REO Speedwagon.
Yes,
Like, that's the one band that's missing from that duo.
it is fun though.
Yeah.
Like, again, it's a value add to your
Yeah.
day's ticket and your annual pass.
Yeah.
It's a good way to get over there. And oh my gosh, it's so fun.
Slippery When Wet, that was another one that would always play. There. It was like a Bon Jovi cover band. I love it.
Totally. We've had some good times there. I remember. Yeah, Slippery When Wet.
Yeah.
They were always there. Like we'd be almost every trip when Slippery When Wet was there. And you're right, Staying Alive, man. They rocked.
They were awesome. Bee Gees cover band, get out! Like, and part of my theme park ticket,
Yeah.
I can go get a frozen beer in Japan and go watch a Bee Gees songs. Like, it's so awesome.
All he needs is that bass.
Yeah. You know what was cool though that one time, because there must not have been a festival going. Remember we saw like that Guardians of the Galaxy, like
That
band?
was wild too. Yeah, because they whoever is in that band, they've gotten their money's worth out of those folks. Because like they have played so many times because they've obviously done all the promotion for the attractions and the movie. They've been over at Disney Springs when the movie's open. Yeah,
They're probably flew them out to Anaheim for when they opened Mission Breakout.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, they got
They
a
were
good.
good though because they would play like songs from the movies, and I know now you like those songs. I mean, I know you like those songs, but you've heard some. You know what they are now. But yeah, so good.
I don't know what's happening, but yeah, I love the music. So
Bring back the Guardians band. That was sweet. The best band was at Hollywood Studios when they had the Grand Floridian Orchestra play those Pixar songs. Do you remember that?
yes,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that was before COVID, right?
It was before COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, it was in the theater for Beauty and the Beast. It was
they would do like Beauty and the Beast halftime, and then they would do this Pixar show, and it was unbelievably good.
Yes, that was super cool. And then, that was. You're right. Yeah, if we could get into a whole thing, but we're at the end of the show. But the whole thing is, it's live music, and I think, for one, a place like Walt Disney World, who's based on entertainment, should embrace live entertainment. But also not just for the value of just the pure fun it is. Like we just spent 10 minutes talking about how much fun we've had just watching these shows, but it also inspires the next generation of entertainers, musicians. I mean, I'm not a musician at all. I have no talent in that, but you play instruments and Emily does and stuff. And I mean, I think it's important that the kids, see somebody playing a tuba or, playing drums or timpanis or what have you. And maybe I'd like. I don't
want it to be a lost art. I don't think anyone wants it to, but like I worry that it's going to if we lose entertainment like that. Like, like you're saying, like if a 5-year-old goes to Hollywood Studios and has fun doing all this Toy Story stuff, and then they can go to a stage and see performers playing those songs, like that's just going to encourage them more to play music, which I think is a great art. But I don't need to go down that. I'm not going deep there, but you know what I mean.
Good to bring it up though. I mean, because it's Disney does inspire, and it's we should have more live stuff in the parks than less.
And side note, since we're both staying at the Grand Floridian Hotel this summer, I think they should bring back the orchestra just for us.
Totally, dude. That brought that. It was like the heartbeat of the atrium of the lobby.
It was so good. Like
they were
awesome. They were right there by Minzer's, so you'd be in Minzer's Lounge, and they would be right there jamming out. That's all right. We still have good stuff, though. But there are things we definitely miss. And who knows? Maybe there's hope for them to still come back. You never know.
You know what? You just brought the show back to the top of the show. What are we going to bring back still? Grand Floridian Orchestra.
There it is. Just for our trip.
We're professionals.
With they're doing the construction, like with the refurb done, and it's fully completed. Guess what? The icing on the cake is we're bringing 1900 pack Park Fair back and the orchestra. There it is.
Boom. And we'd have it done. All right, wait, we're going to get out of here, but that is this live show, but we'll do this again next Sunday night. So join us at 7:00 Eastern, 6:00 Central, and give us your calls. We'll be taking those again on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. We got 4 locations from now on that you can join us. So, and that's also true for the Monday afternoon as we record those are the Wednesday and Friday shows, listener questions, and the roundtable podcast. So you can join us for those. And of course, I do record the Monday Trip Report shows on Wednesday evenings. So you can join us in those locations if you want to join in for those as well. Don't forget, you can follow Scott on the social media at Epscott, EPSCOT. You forgot to put your little lower. Oh, wait. No, it's because I got comments. Hang on. There's where you follow him right there. EPSCOT on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at BR Guest Mike in those locations as well. And as always, don't forget our shows brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's brguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And a sincere thank you to everybody who supports us on Patreon. You guys allow us to upgrade things just like this. It's letting the show get a little bit better each and every week. Patreon.com/BRGuestPodcast. And you also get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest every week. So come on over, patreon.com patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. We'll have the shows this week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Of course, this show will come out as a replay on Thursday. And if you're listening to this on Thursday, boom, you got it. Told you it's here. All right. So we'll have a fun week. Thank you so much for your support. For Scott, I'm Mike, wishing you a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Yeah, I'm at the Grand Flow. I know, because Scott's there. And I thought Phil was there too.
Dude, that was like not my best effort, man, because I like rushed to get here. Like I had like spicy chicken and everything.
Oh my god! So did you see the stuff that had like a lot of peppers?
Oh yeah. But man, I'm like still like sweating because like I was like it was like Amazing Race. Like give me the bill. Like Liz, start the car.
I appreciate it.
And then I was just like, I felt like I was a mess when I got here. I want to open up your fortune though, because they gave us 4 cookies.
Oh my
And
god!
they're all like,
open it up.
and they're all like pointed at a table, and one was pointed towards like the empty seat. We're like, oh, that's Mike's cookie, you know. So let's see
Open
what
it
you
up.
got.
I'm saving this. May 14th, 20.
Live on air. What is Mike's fortune?
Dude, if it's bad, don't tell me.
A new relationship is about to blossom.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
I don't need
What's
new
going
one.
on there, Mike?
Yeah,
We won't tell Pam your fortune.
yeah. She's probably watching
No.
upstairs because we're
No.
getting dessert tonight because it's Mother's Day.
So maybe you'll go out to dessert and you'll find like a Disney friend that's a local, you know, that likes the Cardinals and likes Mizzou football, and that'll be your new friend.
Our relationship will be with something besides a peanut butter parfait.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my gosh! Okay, let's get these last comments. See, why is everybody giving all the comments after we finish the show? People, you get
Yeah.
Scott's handle needs to be updated. He can update it
I
himself.
probably typed it wrong. I did. I typed it Epcot.
Dude's sweating bullets. He might have a
Dude, I
type.
came in here hot, man. I was just like,
It is a relationship between Mike and his desserts. Usually it's a peanut butter parfait. Tonight it might be a
man.
baby blizzard because I've eaten like terrible all weekend.
I think Elizabeth's making some brownies tonight. So
Oh, dude, I love brownies.
yeah.
Because we keep getting this commercial. You guys have Jimmy John's?
Oh yeah, oh, dude, I go to Jimmy John's like twice a week for lunch.
We get them every once in a while. Like a little, I get a tuna sandwich from there because Pam gets this thing called like a Lil John.
Oh yeah, they have they got the little.
I don't know, so like that. I get the tuna sandwich, but they have this commercial on all the time when I'm on the treadmill now. Like the last couple of weeks, like this brownie that they make now, and they're like, it's a good looking brownie. And they're like, we're a sandwich place. You're like, we can't have brownies. So then they put 2 more on top of it. Now it's a sandwich because there's 3 of them.
Yeah,
like,
that's funny.
Dang, I need one of those brownies so bad.
Yeah.
So you should get one of those next time you're there. But
I don't know. I gotta stay away from the desserts though. I can't do my Jimmy sub and my Jimmy chips and the Jimmy brownie. Like
that's true.
I'm not gonna get any work done that afternoon.
That's true.
I'm gonna be napping.
I know. That's yeah.
Oh, man.
I give myself like I try to eat. I have my desserts that I have sugar-free Jello puddings cups.
Oh, okay.
Those are 60 calories. But they're pretty
Oh
good.
yeah, you were trying to show me those when we were at Publix.
Yeah,
last
those
time.
little like something de leche or whatever, dolce de leche or whatever that's called. They're
Could
pretty
you
good.
imagine if we had Publix near us though, like where Jimmy John's is for me? My gosh.
Dude, I the other day I was craving one of those chicken pub subs and I was showing like the Twitter account at dinner to everybody.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're sick because you got a Twitter account that tells if they're on sale or not.
That is kind of weird, man.
I'm like, if you had one, you would know. They're
Mm.
awesome. I was like, I'd be
Just
lying about
Go
something.
check out my reel after this though of my my drink at PF
So
Chang's.
I think Mallory saw it because she's like, she was like, I thought she was asleep in her chair, and she goes, "Why is Scott's drink smoking?"
So like I didn't catch it in time because because it was covered like with a lid, and then she popped it open and then like all the smoke came out. But you can still I caught it still a little bit later where you could still see it kind of floating around. But it was
Yeah,
good, man. It was
you saw it.
amazing actually. It was a really good old fashioned.
Well, so on the Wish, I think there's a drink where they have it like under a dome or something, right? I think
Yeah.
I was talking about.
Is that like in the Star Wars lounge or something? Or
Yeah, I think it is.
I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you, like I've tried not to look at anything Wish related. Like I
I-
want to just
I
be
mean,
surprised.
I haven't even looked at deck plans. I
Yeah.
mean, that's how I've just stayed as far spoiler. Like I don't even know
Yeah.
where the Mexican cantina
Yeah.
is.
Like I know there's a restaurant called like 1923 or something, but that
Right.
I don't know anything about it. Like I'm trying to avoid everything.
Because I
from
just
the-
want to
from the
have.
ship.
I mean, I know that there's like only 2 elevators. I know the basics that I need to
Yeah.
know, like to get people in, decent spots. Like if you don't want to be by elevators, so I know there's only 2 elevator bays, not 3. Like I know that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, but I've not looked like it. Themes for the restaurants and the bars.
I've
and-
gone this far without watching a Wish video on YouTube
not
or
either.
anything. I was just like, how many like new experiences can you get of Disney? Like this is
I-
a great opportunity to just be
This is why-
surprised.
This is why we get along. Because I have been exactly like I want to walk on the ship and be like, I kind of don't know where I'm going a little bit. Like
That's
that.
what I want.
love that.
I mean, I've seen like color schemes, so I've kind of seen a little bit, but like I try anytime Wish something comes up, I just close it out. Like I can't.
Yep, same.
So
Because
we all-
we're under 60 days now.
we only got like less than 7. Well, it's like 49, I think. Like it'll be 50 days. 50 days today, I think.
I get to check in here pretty soon.
Yeah, you punk. I check in on Memorial Day.
Yeah,
I know because I want to get that. I want to get as early as a port arrival time as possible.
See, I don't have to worry about it because I
I
get
know
to
you
check
don't.
in with the first one, but I'm gonna still do it though.
I gotta figure out what I'm doing because like I kind of don't want to rent a car if I'm going to be at the Grand
Dude, let's
Floridian.
just get a bus. Let's split the
Yeah.
cost.
Yeah,
I
we should
mean,
do
they
something like
can
that.
come to 2 places.
Yeah, and
Does
then
it
we'll
get-
be going back to the same place.
Yeah, we'll go back to the same place. Dude, let's
Yeah.
go 50-50 on it.
Yeah,
It's a good bus.
yeah. We'll talk about it. Let's
gotta
talk
have
about
a-
it tomorrow or something.
It's got to have a fog machine and a mirror ball.
Honestly, like that would be less than like the paying to park and then
Oh, yeah.
like paying for me to just have a rental car that's just sitting there doing nothing. Like,
Wow.
yeah.
We did it that one year, but then nothing worked in it, but it was still fun.
Yeah, we got lucky though because like it was like they're supposed to get something else,
We got the bus.
then like, it was like broke, like the air conditioning didn't work or something.
Yeah.
And we got the bus.
Oh,
That was a wild cruise.
yeah, we'll talk. All right. Well, hey, thanks for doing it.
All right.
I appreciate you hustling, man.
Yeah, sorry I was late.
No,
All right.
it was great. I appreciate you.
All right. See you later.
Hello. All right. See you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.